Let's talk mental health. This morning, we want to continue the conversation surrounding mental health in teens. Now, new data from the CDC shows that 42% of teens across the nation experience persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. As we take a look at teenage girls in particular, 1 in 3 have seriously considered suicide. The CDC says this is up 60% from a decade ago. Now, mental health experts, they say that social media can play a major part in the well-being of your children. Social media has been linked to an increase in mental health problems, including anxiety and even depression.
At this issue, the U.S. Surgeon General recently said 13 is too young for children to be on social media because they are still, quote, developing their identity. According to reports, 53% of children now own a smartphone by the age of 11, with 95% of teenagers saying they have their own phone or access to one. So we know that with more phone access, it also means more exposure to social media sites. So this morning, we have brought in friend and digital strategist, The Rosh Show Live, to help us navigate this digital divide. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so glad to be here. And this is a conversation we're always having in our household. As a mom of 3 who has a social media brand, I'm always having this conversation with my 12 and 15-year-old. And the conversation starts, mom and dads, with having an open and honest conversation about what social media really is about. And really what it's about is advertising, right? And I'm not just talking about the selling of goods. I'm talking about advertising how you want to be perceived on social media. So my 15-year-old was watching one of her favorite influencers on YouTube, and I had to remind her there's a reason why she's an influencer. It's because she can influence you to buy a product that she may not even really like, but she's getting something on the back end. So don't be fooled.
Ooh, I love that too. And I think even as adults, we can very much fall into that trap of seeing somebody that we relate to selling something without even realizing they're selling it, and then we start spending more money.
Right, exactly. Right.
All right, now something that we have to talk about is responsibility when it comes to social media. What does that conversation look like?
So for a 12 and 15-year-old, responsibility, that word is a red flag, right? So already parents, I'm giving you the thing. Tell them the word responsibility and they don't want to have anything to do with it. But seriously, it's having this conversation about the responsibility of social media, which means understanding how to use it, understanding that just because you posted something and deleted it doesn't mean it just evaporates and disappears. This may come back to haunt you. And also talking about the real things when it comes to cyberbullying. It's like, don't participate in it, and if you see it happening, you need to say something.
I'm so glad that you covered that too. And we're seeing a lot of times when it comes to schools trying to keep up with how to deal with cyberbullying, but responsibility is so big, even as adults.
Correct.
We have responsibility. When I go to schools or even talk to college kids, I'm like, be careful about what you put on social media, because that can come back to haunt you in the job hunting process.
Exactly.
Now, third, let's talk about goals.
Yes. Set a goal. So we did this when our child first started and wanted to get a cell phone. We set a goal, right? So set a goal when it comes to social media. If you know your child is not ready, be honest and tell them they're not ready. But prepare them by setting a goal to get them ready. And so this is the current conversation we're having in the Pratt household about setting goals to help you prepare for social media. So this goes back to responsibility. How responsible are you with your smartphone, your cell phone? If you're leaving it all over the place, you're probably not ready for social media. So set a clear goal.
I love that y'all having that conversation. And what I really loved is the fact that you said, let's prepare to handle the responsibility of social media. Just like parents prepare their children for anything else, this is such a big step in their life, and it can have a lot of consequences, but it can also have a lot of positive things that happen as well, but you still have to get prepared and trained for that. So thank you so much. How has the conversation been going with the kids?
The 15-year-old, she's okay. My 12-year-old, he's just like, what is happening here? Is it ever going to happen for me in this year? And so we're working towards that. You know, it's something I don't take lightly, because as a mom, former journalist, I see all the things that are happening on social media, and we're going to talk about that in the next half, about even helping our kids understand how to use social media as a verifiable source. You want verified sources? Follow Brandon and Whitney. There you go.